in a shocking incident, an iconic statue of Mahatma Gandhi was found desecrated at London's Tavistock Square. This comes just ahead of annual Gandhi Jayanti celebrations on the 2nd of October. The base of the statue was defaced with disturbing graffiti. The statue depicts Mahatma Gandhi, India's father of the nation, in a meditative pose. The High Commission of India in London has strongly condemned the vandalism, calling it a violent attack on the idea of non-violence. The Indian mission also said it reported the desecration to the local authorities. Meanwhile, efforts are underway to restore the statue to its original state. The statue was unveiled in 1968 at the square as a nod to Mahatma Gandhi's days as a law student at the nearby University College, London. However, this isn't the first of its kind. Previous incidents of vandalism in the UK include a mosque which was vandalized in Basildon just this month. In April this year, members of Pakistani and Indian diasporas clashed with each other outside their respective high commissions in central London in the wake of the Pahalgam terror attack. This is where things stand at the moment. All right, to discuss this further, we're now being joined All right, as I mentioned, to discuss this further, we're joined by Ms. Ornicha Daorueng, researcher at International Center for Sustainability, and Dr. Tara Kartha, former director of National Security Council Secretariat. Thank you both of you for joining us on this broadcast. Ms. Tara, I want to come to you first. How do you see this vandalism of Mahatma Gandhi's statue? Would you say this is an attack on the shared values of peace and non-violence?
It is obviously, I mean, it's hardly surprising given that much of Europe is at war. So what would they know about peace? There is no effort in Europe, and this is what I find so surprising, that there is no thrust towards ending the war in Ukraine. I mean, what is wrong with you all? You're waiting for Trump to do it. I mean, it should be the Europeans who should stop the war. So that is one aspect, the whole question of acceptable violence. Number two, I think, is the wave of anti-immigration, the protests which have you been seeing recently, which is, well, pretty shocking, understandable in some ways, but shocking to persons who have been in the UK for decades. They're born there. What are they going to do? But third, I think most important is the fact that a home minister in the UK chose to call out on Kashmir. I mean, how can you have a home minister who is talking against India, who is now says, no, but you should, you have problems with immigration. You can't have both. Either you have a clear policy on subjects or you don't. So these trends, I'm talking of Shabana Masood, who is the home minister, her position is very, very strange. So I don't think this is against Hindus. I think this is a Pakistani act.
All right. Ms. Kartha, thank you so much. Let me also just bring in Ms. Daorueng into this conversation. I would like to ask you, you've heard what Ms. Tara had to say. What's your view on this situation, and do you think this is reflective of the administration's inability to put an end to such acts?
Okay, yes. So actually, next week we will launch our report by our center on the anti-Hindu hate and discrimination in the UK, which is done with the surveys with 1,000 of Hindus here. And we found that there's a growing perceptions of anti-Hindu hate in different forms, vandalism, trespassing temples for the past 3 years. And yeah, I think it's very shameful, and at the same time, we need to emphasize that London is safe. UK is a safe space for a multicultural. For example, we all know that the great contributions of Hindu bring to the British society. For example, like Hindu achieved the highest educations and strong civic engagement, and also strong professional engagement too, ranked the highest of all religions in the UK. So given this, I think, and look at the language there, we noticed that it's hardly likely to come from far-right movement. It does not come from them. And again, look at the language. We see that it's probably come from two groups, neither first Sikh extremist or second Islamist.
Ms. Kartha, what do you have to say to that? London is a safe space. What do you have to say?
I think she's made some very good points. I also assume, I don't see this as Hindu phobia. Actually, there is I haven't seen, to be honest, a lot of Hindu phobia earlier in the UK or elsewhere. It's just very unfortunate that this term Hindu phobia has come out at all. There is a lot of Islamophobia. I mean, that I see in London all the time, in the US, elsewhere, which is linked to acts of terrorism. Hindus are not involved in terrorism. So this linking of these phobias is unfortunate. So I would agree with her that this is probably, I mean, my sense is this is a Pakistani kind of, one of those hundreds of groups which are involved there. And oddly enough, one point is the Khalistanis don't really like the Pakistanis, though they operate with them. They don't like them, but then, yeah, they are on the same platform. So, yeah, it could be. I don't see this as Khalistani somehow.
All right, now, of
But
course.
I could be wrong.
Sorry, ma'am, please continue.
No, I said I could be wrong. We will have to await investigations.
Absolutely, of course. Now, this question is for the both of you. Do you think this, of course, points to a need for larger dialogue to hear the frustrations of the people so that they don't resort to such acts of vandalism? Ms. Daorueng, what do you have to say?
So yeah, first we talk back about the roots of anti-Hindu hate discrimination. So we could say Hinduphobia first. And I think this is a global phenomenon, happen to any religions, and that when we lack of understanding of some things, we try to become step away and prejudice, and on it lead to violence. So this is the standpoint of any kind of hostility towards Hindu in the UK that we base on. And to look at this, I think what we really need right now is a proper report to really identify each incident, and then we look into it and do further research that, okay, this case, we will bring it into Hindu hate and discriminations, or this is just a religion hate, or this is something that is not. Or else it's very hard to define that this is not, or this is it not, is this, or is isn't.
All right, Ms. Kartha, what do you have to say?
I'm saying I would prefer if you didn't equate Islamophobia and Hinduphobia. The two are entirely different phenomenon. They arise from different factors. The root cause of each is different. So I think, while I really appreciate the fact that the UK does this in a very methodical and a proper way, I think the Hindu phobia that terminology itself should be replaced with perhaps, just a rights issue. Just say the rights of individuals to religion, religious freedoms. You can replace it with that. Because Hindu phobia is damaging. It is damaging to us because, Hindus are not, by and large, in UK itself, that I think among your ethnic minorities, the highest income earners are the Indians who come from here. So
Definitely.
they are really part of, they live in better areas. That is the reality we live in. But hopefully it will sort itself out. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. All right, Ms.
Yeah.
Daorueng and Ms. Kartha, sorry, we're running out of time. We hear you both. Thank you so much for joining us on WION World as one with your perspectives and your insights on this. It's been a fruitful discussion. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
For latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.